We've got it right all along from the start. And we got it right because we have put the investor protection high on our agenda when we come out with a policy that if you are going to get a license from the SFC, we're going to impose all the internal controls, investor protection measures, in addition to AML, to the applicant. And that drive away quite a lot of companies. And we are under very severe criticisms for driving away the fintech firms to Singapore and elsewhere. But after the collapse of a series of these platforms, including FTX, they now understand and accept that had there been internal controls, had there been all the investor protection measures, then some of these harm to investors could have been avoided. I think the basic principle is still investor protection. There are things which we can balance development with so some of these principles you can't change, it's unmovable. Like customer deposits, assets needs to be segregated. Internal audits control, it has to be there. But there are things in which you can adjust, like what we did with the insurance coverage of these crypto assets, which we reduced the insurance coverage to 50% from 100. Then it makes the less costly to operate. So these are things which we can give, but not the basic principle. We have very efficiently and effectively worked out the playbook, what we need to do, figure out the exposures, and agreed on a press statement, which came out the first thing the following morning, which is aimed at calming the market. You need to be very prepared for contingency. You need to be very alert. In the last 3 years, I've been preaching resilience. I will continue to do so, to be very resilient, to adopt a strategy which makes sure that you are resilient against the market turmoils and be on top on your risk management game. And that's, to many, it's like just plain defense. For last year, it worked because if you are protecting your downside, you're probably doing fine, okay. But this year, you also have opportunities. And so you also have to play attack as well, the offense. So it's really, while you are looking into that opportunities, you don't forget that you still have a landscape which is, investing landscape which is very tough, which, as we just discussed, the macro factors and the technology could change it overnight. And so I continue to give that advice of stay vigilant and be resilient. We should, at the same time, actually be reaching out to those who have misconceptions about Hong Kong, but at the same time doing the real work as well, and giving some thoughts about just what Arthur was asking me. What is the comparative advantage? How do you do better? So I spent quite a lot of time on the Connect schemes and all sorts of Connect schemes, taking the opportunity and made 3 trips to China in 2 months. What is the role of regulator in all this? On my side, I think setting the regulations and the standards for reporting is an important part of it. For Hong Kong, we are very keen to be able to have a reporting standards which make strong reference and align with ISSB, which is the TCFD standards also, in order to have a start. Because it's important for us, because we are an international financial center and we intermediate capital. And we need, and we have a bigger financial footprint than the physical carbon emissions footprint because of the listed companies of that 80% of our market cap are from mainland. And when we require that kind of standards, reporting standards, that means that the listed companies in Hong Kong will have to comply. Actually, I learned from mistakes a bit more, because when you change your runway, you're bound to have challenges which you have not seen before. The key is actually to approach any job, new job, with a lot of humility, with a lot of trust in them, and delegate, but at the same time, you're prepared to dig the trenches with them.